So tell us a little bit about Levata.
Yeah, so Levata is a system integrator
Mm-hmm.
in the automation, material handling, and supply chain visibility space. So we really started as on the e-commerce side first. So you might have heard about Barcodes Inc.
Yes.
So Barcodes is where we started.
Mm-hmm.
We actually rebranded ourselves this year
Yeah.
to Levata, so more of a solutions side of technology and then bringing consultations to our customers. So started on the e-commerce side, grew from there, and now the largest reseller of Zebra technologies. And on the robotics side, we are a system integrator. So we deploy Locus bots, we deploy Fetch, which is now Zebra robotics bots, Vecna robotics bots. So yeah, that's who we are.
Nice. Yeah, and I think it's interesting, the evolution there and kind of that rebranding as well. And I'm curious, kind of with that rebranding. I mean, what's behind the name? Where does the name Levata come from?
Yeah, I like the question. So what Levata means? It's an Italian name for elevate.
Elevate. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I like that. Okay.
it's basically the theme is we elevate our customer experiences, right?
Yes.
And whether it is the efficiency in their supply chain, bringing automation, bringing efficiencies in material handling. That's where the name came from. More of an agnostic platform.
Yeah.
And today what we do is there are 5 technology platforms at Levata. It's mobility one, then point of sale in retail. Then there is access ID, people ID access, and supply chain visibility for it. And then there is robotics, which I lead. Levata.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, and I love that name too. I mean, I think that makes so much sense when you look at kind of where we are in the industry, because I think it is that we're at that kind of, inflection point where everybody needs to and is trying to elevate their operations, right, and go to that next level and address, some of the issues that we have out there regarding labor and, just getting people in there and reducing, injuries and trying to make the warehouse a more safer place by implementing, some of these automations and better visibility and things of that nature. So it's great that you're helping to elevate those. So I'm curious on the visibility side, right? Because I think, we go to conferences now and everybody says visibility, right? That's like the buzzword out there. So I mean, as we look at visibility, I mean, how is Levata kind of addressing that, and how are you helping organizations to have that visibility and have meaningful visibility?
Right. So I think a few years ago, we started seeing a lot of customer demand on the supply chain visibility side. So whether it is misshipments, right?
Yeah.
Or whether it is inaccurate inventory tracking, a lot of luxury goods, for example, Louis Vuitton, someone like Louis Vuitton, spending a lot on misshipments, right? Because if you just miss one pallet, it's
expensive.
It's a lot of money, right? So, and we saw that demand. We went ahead and 2 years ago acquired a company called Smart Label Solution, SLS, out of Howell, Michigan. Its solutions are in RFID and supply chain visibility with AI software. And so imagine doctors, right? Anything that goes in and out of that doctor, we're able to track that. So fully automated, not someone has to not scan it
and check,
with a handheld, right? Or all of the pallet in palletized stuff. Automatedly, it comes in and goes out and gets fully tracked and reported into AWS. Make sure it's all fully traceable. So all of that visibility, end-to-end visibility, we do. That's one workflow, and then there is cycle counting. Automated cycle counting we do. Today's strategy is with RFID, and wherever there is RFID tagged goods, we're able to easily trace all the products. But then we do have a roadmap in our software capabilities to address that. So that's where we are.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting, and I think RFID is such such an like exciting technology. I mean, it's coming from somebody that spent a lot of time in inventory control, so maybe that sounds a little nerdy to be excited about RFID. But yeah, I think that it's so exciting because that it does make such an impact if you have that misshipment, right? And especially on those high value goods. But I'm curious where are we in terms of RFID, making sense for all products, right? Because there is an additional cost associated with that, with the tags and things. I mean, and obviously, with a pallet full of Louis Vuitton, it makes a lot of sense, right, to spend that little bit of extra. But I mean, is that something that you think we'll get to where we'll be able to just use RFID for everything, or is there still going to be kind of that barrier?
I think 10 to 15 years ago, if you said RFID, would have been an expensive RFID tag per product would have been an expensive item, right? Today, it's 4 or 5 cents per tag, right? And it totally have started making sense on even each level, right? Eaches, we're tagging that. A lot of our customers are now tagging eaches. There's still like more on the cases side and pallet side, a lot of tagging. So it has started to making sense a lot now. And traditionally in the industry, RFID has been there for long, right? And one of the challenges has been that cost, right? And there's no like end-to-end solution that was solving supply chain visibility with RFID, and that's what the smart level solution does it. And a lot of times it's not really crazy technologies that bring ROI. Sometimes it's simple technologies like RFID that bring a lot of near-term ROI for our end users. So that's where our focus is. How do we get the most out of RFID today? And then that's where we see a lot of success, along with, of course, robotics and automation that we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I think it's important too, because to understand, from a robotics automation standpoint, I mean, you really need to have a high level of accuracy, right, in your inventory and where things are positioned and things like that. I think RFID just helps you kind of get to that level. So tell us a little bit about maybe the contrast there versus, having RFID and having like kind of that, I wouldn't say total visibility, but very much, close to total visibility of your product and where it is. I mean, how does that make such a difference in an operation versus one that's maybe not leveraging that right now?
Yeah, so one of the things is, on the cycle counting, for example, right? If you're not tracking your goods, and you're probably, a lot of our customers are spending a lot of resources doing cycle counting, right?
Yes.
Now it's maybe a night shift, but there are a few people doing it, right? Sometimes cycle counting takes days and days, right? Or weeks even to cycle count the entire warehouse. And we have some, really good retail examples, right? Retail back-end distribution side, we have this one of the largest North American retailer who's deploying our solution today. And in that, we saw almost bringing cycle counting from like a 2-week task to a 1-hour task.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a no-brainer to a lot of customers doing it with the solutions that we bring. So that's where we're seeing a lot of returns. And that's where the biggest difference is, how you do it today versus how it can be done with RFID and just fully automate that process.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that makes so much sense, because it is such a time-consuming task, especially when you have to count those eaches, especially, and dig in there, and then, you got to go and count this stuff that's all dusty, and your employees like, oh, I'm all dirty, I don't like this, you know. So RFID, I mean, makes it much more simpler, and I think that's such a big win that an operation can take advantage of, and being able to do that. And it's really great to be able to highlight that visibility that you guys are bringing into that space and being able to do that. So really interesting to talk to you here, and really appreciate you coming by and kind of shedding some light deeper into the visibility aspect of things, which I think is so important to kind of underlie and build those foundational things that need to go in place to be able to get to that robotics and automation type of solution. So if people are interested to learn more about Levata, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, so of course, reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn, first of all. Can search levata.com and reach out to us. Also, robotics at levata.com is also one of the ways if you're looking for robotics and automation.
Okay.
One of the things quickly is what we're working on is case picking automation. We know there's a
Oh,
big gap
nice.
in the
Yes.
industry,
Yeah.
and we're announcing at Modex that we have solutions, and we were working on that. And 2025 may be the right time if you have like needs in case picking. I know there's a big gap. There's not a
Yeah.
lot of you can see in the industry that can be solved for case picking. So yeah, if you have requirements on case picking, that's also something we're working towards.
Absolutely. So if you're trying to get elevated on case breaking, right, go to levata.com, right?
Yeah.
All right, sir. So thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you
Pleasure
so
to
much.
talk to
Thanks for
you.
hosting me.
Yes, absolutely. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into today's video here on our YouTube channel, the New Warehouse Podcast, and I appreciate you tuning in. If you liked what you saw, make sure you subscribe to our channel, and if you like this video in particular, make sure you like it as well. And if you want to get this great t-shirt that you see in the video behind me, Warehouses Are Sexy, head to warehousesAreSexy.com and get your own.